Good afternoon. We are wrapping up the third week of Florida's legislative session, and that means there's a lot of action taking place in the House and Senate chambers. This week we've got updates on several top priorities affecting a lot of retailers, including our retail pharmacies and gas stations. Here at the Capitol, the Florida Retail Federation's AIP team has been getting a lot of work done on the fourth floor. Now let's get right to the high points of this week. For our gas station members, we were able to advance a bill standardizing the pump signage advertising the availability of service for disabled drivers, while preempting local governments who want to require call buttons on every pump. Both 1184 and 185 advanced through committees this week. 185 is actually heading to the floor from here. It's been a tough issue with some close votes, but we are happy that several advocates for the disabled are supporting our statewide solution.
I'm here as a person with disabilities. I've been able to travel over the state. I've seen stations that have both the stickers and usually it's one button. You push a button and sometimes I think the people inside, when they get busy, they kind of put you on ignore. Whereas when you call and you talk to somebody behaviorally, they're more apt to make a connection, and that ignore button is not quite as quick to be pushed.
The sticker is a low-cost alternative at $1 versus up to $1,200 for installation per call button. In the staff analysis that the county did, it identified 80 of the 193 gas stations in Leon County would qualify for this. We did the math. That would cost roughly around $300,000 for our members in this county alone.
The bill is a cost-effective way to help those in our community who need help the most. Rather than forcing individual gas stations to spend thousands of dollars on additional call buttons, we have a way to help persons with disabilities that will cost less than $1.
Another local issue this year has once again been our preemption of local wage theft ordinances. Senate Bill 926 was postponed in Judiciary, but don't worry, we were able to vote down a bad amendment before it was postponed.
Dedicated to doing a quick resolution to make sure that any wages that were not paid, that it is resolved quickly. If you put it under the criminal statute, you will then involve prosecutorial discretion of whether or not to pursue it as a crime, and it will lengthen the process.
For our retailers following tort reform, accuracy and damages, House Bill 379 passed its first committee this week.
Most of you may not be aware, but the difference between a hospital charge and their actual bill runs roughly 374% in the state of Florida. For instance, I had an MRI yesterday. It was $893 is what I paid. The hospital paid $2,950. So what we're trying to do with this bill is use truth, not fiction, so that when people make decisions, whether under settlement or whether they make decisions at trial level, they do that based on fact, not fiction.
We'll be keeping you up to date on this important issue as we move forward. Beverage retailers will be interested to hear that a bill allowing on-premises tastings of malt beverages, House Bill 387 by Representative Pasadoma, passed the House Regulatory Affairs Committee this week. So we're looking forward to expanding these great marketing opportunities for beverage retailers. On to an issue that's really important to most of our retailers, Florida's popular sales tax holidays. They're on the move this week. The Hurricane Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday passed out of committee. The Back-to-School Sales Tax Holiday passed out of a committee. But more importantly, both of these issues, along with the Energy Star Sales Tax Holiday, were rolled into the House Finance and Tax Package and Workshop this week. We expect to see that bill up in Finance and Tax next week for a vote. Another taxation issue of interest to retailers, the E911 fee bill, passed out of House Regulatory Affairs Committee. This requires retailers to collect the E911 fee on communication services, which goes to support law enforcement operations relating to 911 responses. Now finally, the last bill, Pharmacy Technician Ratio Bill. Senator Grimsley's Bill 278 passed out of the Senate Regulatory Industries on Thursday. The House bill is scheduled to be up in a committee also, but it was TP'd while we work out some details in the Senate side. We'll be looking for this bill to be agenda'd again next week. Well, that's it for this week. Tune in next week. We also have a Hot Topics call every Thursday to discuss the hot topics of the week. So if you're interested in that, dial in at 3:30 on Thursdays.